Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. So I'm trying something today that I've never done, and that's to do a damage comparison video. I've played around with Anti-Venom a lot, as you all know, and the one thought that I just couldn't shake is how similar he felt to Mr. Fantastic, not only in terms of utility, but in terms of damage as well. Reed is regarded as one of the best science champs in the game since his buff, and I really wanted to see how Anti-Venom stacked up. So I did a bunch of runs against Winter Soldier using each of them to get an idea of how similar or not they end up being in terms of their damage output. Full transparency here, I'm just using the champs at their base kit. That means no synergy teams, no boosts, no ouchie masteries. I also tried my best to use an optimal rotation for each champ. So while the fights run, I want to talk about a few key differences between these two champs. The first is signature ability. Anti-Venom can get his damage right out of the box, but Reed's damage output is more dependent on his signature ability. The increased combat power rate allows him to get debuffs placed faster via his special 2, and it allows him to get near full uptime of the Fury passive from his special 3. One difference you can observe as you watch is that Reed's damage is much more consistent throughout the fight, while Anti-Venom is more reliant on burst and takes over half the fight to ramp up. In a shorter fight though, I would be using a different rotation for Anti-Venom, which would mostly mitigate this concern. Another key difference is that Reed's damage does not hinder his utility, and in fact, the two work hand in hand. Anti-Venom needs to sacrifice his utility for short periods in order to get access to his burst damage. The last difference I want to point out is Reed's Prefights, which are one of the biggest benefits to using him. Reed will gain his persistent charges back whether or not he wins a fight, but if he gives those Prefights to another champion, they're gone. And if that champion isn't able to finish the fight, then you need to spend them again. Now, I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a moleman here. This is easily manageable, but it's something to be aware of if you're giving those Prefights to other champions, because Reed really depends on them himself. Okay, so Anti-Venom has already finished up here, and Reed is about to as well. Now, in each of my test runs, I got results similar to these, which show that these two champions are nearly identical in terms of base damage output. So my initial feeling that they were similar turned out to be dead on, so that's pretty cool. Now, these two champs are both really great, and while they share some utility, they are different enough that I won't always be using one over the other. And it's good to know that whichever one I need to use, I won't be losing out on anything in terms of damage. That's it for this one. Let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of comparison video, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button for me. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.